Hi guys, yesterday I made a live stream about, I don't remember what I was talking about, but someone was messaging me and saying I should talk about sexuality, and then I said okay, I will do that today. So I just started my first starseed activation in the Facebook group with a couple of people here from the Acturing group, and it's a process of 4 to 5 weeks where we learn, or where they learn to alkaline the body, how to release certain things like implants, passed away people's entities, DNA activation, starseed origin. So yeah, we started it. So if anyone is interested, I will do another course, not right away, but I will do a couple of activation and inner mastery courses, priestess activation for healers. I will do that after some time. I just want to see how it goes and how the response is. Usually I have my private clients and I do that one-to-one. So yeah, okay, that's actually so cool. So okay, now about sexuality. Sexuality is a very important part for starseeds, but not just starseeds, it's important. Why? Guess why? Hi Celcine. Okay, hi Elizabeth. Okay, sexuality. I mean, what is sexuality? It's all energies, right? And it's a sacred act where a male energy and a female energy connects. If you're both the same agendas, it doesn't mean it's bad or whatever. It doesn't mean anything, because a male energy can be strong in you even though you're a woman, but the female energy can be strong in you even though you are a man. You know, it doesn't matter. It's about the balance and the harmony, which is so important. But I have to say, I did notice when we have same agendas, like female having a relationship and male having a relationship. I had so many clients over so many years. Like, I grew up with that psychic abilities. I'm the founder of the Acturing group. I can see and read energies. I hear, I work with all my senses, and I have noticed when I work with, I mean, they're most adorable, like gay people. Like, I just love them, they're amazing. But I have seen, and if you're honest with yourself, they went through a lot of trauma. It's like, either if it's a male person, they want to be more in the female energy because they really reject the male energy, because mostly they went through a lot of abuse. They saw the father beating up the mother, or being really cruel and harsh and heartless, and they're being so sensitive. Or when it's a woman who got abused by a male energy, they don't want to be like a man, they want to be like just with women. So there's a lot of abuse. And also I had one person, they had, it was actually weird when I was working with him, he had his poles like north and south. We have in kinesiology, we have different polarities. So his polarity was switched. And this can happen through a like incarnation or major trauma. It was quite tough that time. I wasn't that far as I'm right now, but he had a major shift in his polarity. It was like the male and the female energy was like just, yeah, it was just opposite direction. It was like a magnet. It was, when you put them together, it can come together, or if you take same poles, it pushes them away. So sexuality is, when you look at it, the sexuality is here. It's the root chakra and the second chakra. It's the life force. It's the energy, your creativity. Many people have a sexual addiction. Many people watch porn, but what happens is when you watch porn, it's actually what happens, it's an addiction. Addiction means it's a negative energy which someone is sucking you from your life force energy. Churches, religion, culture, it's everywhere. Incest, it's everywhere, okay? If someone says, oh, this religion is worse than the other, it's everywhere, I can tell you that. It's in Buddhism, it's in Catholicism. I mean, we had big scenes in, especially in Germany, couple of years back. It all came, it bursted, okay, that children, especially boys, got really abused, sexually abused by male priests. Why is that? Because the male priest, because of the beliefs, because like in Asian culture, okay, it's like Sri Lanka, India, the males having big time issues with their sexuality. There's so much incest, you have no idea, guys. And incest, it's not because they're sleeping all in one bed. I did sleep with my dad and my mom and my brother. We slept like till I was like 6 years old. We slept all in one bed. And then I said, hey, I want to sleep by myself. I don't want to be squished in a big bed, all of us. It's about sexuality is a way of releasing energy. It's releasing a lot of pressure, especially when you have pressure, how a woman should be, how a man should be. A man has to provide, a woman has to be at home in the kitchen. This is something, even if your family doesn't say it, it's something you can feel because you're an empath. You know without anyone else telling you what to do and should not do. You know what they expect from you. And then you just perform. You perform. You want to be loved. You want to do things right. But you have to release that pressure. How can you release it? You watch porn. You masturbate. You have lots of changing partners. But the thing is, when you sleep with one person, and the weird thing is, I'm 40 now, but I knew it from like a very young age that I only want to have one partner, because I knew when you sleep with one partner, you exchange through the orgasm, saliva, sperm, it's DNA codes. You mix them up. Those are different energies. If you're really pure and someone comes inside your house with your dirty shoes, you don't want that. You don't want that when that person leaves or maybe just stays forever. You have that mess and you have to clean behind them. You want to meet someone who also has a clean energy, who looks after themselves, who does the work. You don't want to start cleansing and clearing in yourself for that other person. So sexuality is life force. It's creativity. It's connecting with another human being. Also, that's mostly the energy part where others suck energy from you. I have met so many healers, yoga teachers, sleeping with their students, masters claiming, you know what, it's such an honor if you sleep with me. No, they're sucking your life force, because an exchange can only happen if it comes from your heart and it comes from their heart. But you need to do the heart healing, right? If your heart is open, you feel you can be yourself and you can trust and you can be vulnerable. That's when an exchange happens from heart to heart, from soul to soul, from sexuality to sexuality, because the real sexuality is always connected to the heart. And it's so important, because when you receive a child, being connected in the heart and sexuality, that's when the child can come in a really high frequent energy into earth. And then that child doesn't have to do so much healing and karma cleansing and clearing, because, and now listen, we starseeds came to earth and we had to get rid of very high frequent soul parts. That's why I do starseed activation, not initiation. So it's bringing in your soul parts. You had to release more of the high frequent one when you got incarnated into a family which they were not connecting their heart having sex, because in the past, in different cultures, we had a forced marriage. That means you had to marry someone who came from a rich family. You had to marry someone from the same caste. You had to marry someone from the same village, because it was such a bad thing to marry someone which we didn't know from a different village or country, right? Because of the skin color, because of the religion. We have soul contracts. And yes, you meet sometimes someone because there's a karmic lesson to learn and you should release that to release the ties because we have toxic relationships which are not healthy. So it's always about your self-worth, self-esteem, releasing patterns from your dad, releasing patterns from your mom. I'm going to upload a lot of, yes, I do charge for my services, but I have a YouTube channel, Aurena International. I have a playlist with free healing tools, free starseed activation, it's free. And then I will upload healing meditations. It's like, I call it meditation, but it's like more healing sessions, which is a very reasonable amount of money, which will be like 11 euros and 11 cents. I'm going to upload them and you can download them. They're not yet uploaded. I will post it soon, but it's very reasonable. They're very powerful because they're from different countries, different cultures, and different processes. It's always about self-love and self-worth. And yes, I do sessions and I charge money for that because it's my time, but more than my time, it's your self-worth, that you are worth it, that you do the healing for yourself because it's helping yourself in the end of the day. What about to be free in physical pleasure experience? I mean, I'm with you. Yeah, okay. Letizia, ask yourself that, okay? If you keep changing and switching partners, do you feel really fulfilled? Do you, like many people in sexuality, that's also with porn industry, when you keep changing the people, that means you want to break out of your routine and you need that kick in life that you feel yourself, you want changes, but the question is, why do you need a kick in your life to get an excitement? You can be with one person, and with one person you can actually do the healing transformation, because it's such an honor to be with one person. Of course, we have soul contracts, we change, we have life lessons, but with one person you can go really deep, and the deeper you go, that's the scary part. That's the part when you do your shadow work, when you look into your childhood, when you look into past lives, when you look into the pattern of your parents' ancestor lineage. And lady in crystal shop got goosebumps around me, and I had tarot that my love life is gonna happen. Yeah, see, but when you do tarot card reading, that's the energy you have. You still, you know, you make it happen. It always starts with yourself. I mean, are you able to have an orgasm? Are you able to pleasure yourself? How do you feel about pleasuring yourself? Do you feel ashamed? Do you feel guilty? Do you enjoy it? How is the breathing when you do pleasure yourself? Those things are important. You start with yourself before you expect someone else to pleasure you, right? And it also, that part also, it has to be an exchange. Can you go through a rapid awakening back to back? I didn't understand that. Can you please, Natalie, I didn't understand that. I can feel your energy through this video. Yes, that's the reason I work remote. Hi, Art Shift. Okay, so sexuality is a very, very most important part, especially when you do clearing and cleansing. Like, for example, when you just walk on the road, depending on the culture. Like, when I walk in Sri Lanka or in India it improved so much more, but in Sri Lanka it's still very laid back. I could not walk around like this. I will wear a shirt, more covered, a shawl, and even if they see your face, it's like they have this eye magic. They just suck you in and then they draw energy. Okay, an exercise. Do you know, like, you go somewhere in a club, you are somewhere and someone stares at you and they suck your energy, and in a very creepy sexual way. It doesn't matter male or female. I'm sure both of you have experienced that, and you feel very uncomfortable. Why do you feel uncomfortable? Because they're sucking your energy. Have you looked at people who have a lot of changing partners and they glow, they have this shiny energy, but that energy is not theirs, it's from the other people. In Germany, I was working with a man. He was he was a teacher. He charged a lot of amount of money, and not just him, I met a couple of them, and he slept with the students, and he told the students not to talk about it because he said, oh, it's such a special thing to sleep with him. But what he did is, he was like, how can you do a healing when you can't talk about a secret. So he gave them a secret not to talk about it. The second thing is he took their healing and sexual energy, their life force, and he was this shiny glowing man, teacher, who was actually using that again to attract. It was like he was attracting a lot of mosquitoes because he was the light, but that's not how it works. So guys, you need to feel a warmth in your heart. It's not about ego. Ego also is important. We have a brain, we have an ego which protects us. But the ego can be positive or negative. It can be about insecurity and self-worth because you feel, oh, the more sexual partners I have, that's like in the male community. It's like, oh, if you have many women, you're the dude. But actually, don't you think that this man sometimes feels very lonely, or he feels like, you know what, I'm tired of that nonsense. I just want to be at home. I just want to be by myself, or I just want to have one person who understands me, who loves me the way I am, without me having to change all the time different partners. And the same way for women. It's like when she wants to have the experience of changing the man, but the question is, does a woman really feel fulfilled having changing partners? It's about learning about yourself, about being honest with yourself. Sexuality is related to science state that you had born? No. Who said that? It's a small part, but no, not really, no. If they were in tune, they would understand. Okay, I'm talking very free. Like, I grew up in a very old Catholic way. My mom is Buddhist, and sexuality was such a bad thing, but at the same time in the Catholic scene, it's like when you want to have a child, you're allowed to have sex, right? But then the two people, they don't even have a connection, and then they create this child out of fear, guilt, and shame. What the heck? So I did watch porn when I was 11 years old, and even when I was little, I had this memory already like really strong in me, because it was always such a big taboo. My dad was born in the Czechoslovakia, and he was in non-school. So everything about sexuality was such a bad thing. Even for my mom, she didn't even know about the period, what sexuality means. She met my dad. He was the first male figure in her life, and she said she was dumb. She always would tell me, she said she was dumb. She didn't know what and how. And even when I asked her questions, she would tell me to shut up, So I felt bad about myself, not knowing why I feel bad about myself. So, we need to look in those belief patterns. And then what I would do is I would watch porn. Because when I went out there, male energy, like the male, looking at me, they were like, oh my gosh, she's like too much to handle. So for like years, men were scared of me, right? Because they could feel I'm strong, but I was so insecure, I didn't know what's going on. So I did watch porn, but then I realized, oh my gosh, it sucks energy from me. You want more and more and more and more, and it's not satisfying. It's actually, it's terrible. Watch the movie Don John, it's amazing. Watch it, it's amazing, because it really explains a lot of dynamics. And then when I started looking into my self-worth, when I started about looking into me being a woman, allowing myself to have sex, allowing myself to pleasure myself, allowing myself to having a feeling of getting aroused when I see a really good looking man, but always being in my heart center and knowing that sexuality is always an expression of love, which you do. And that's why we have abduction. We have aliens who are very interested in us being a human, because we have something which is called love. And love is such a beautiful thing. So make sure when you sleep with someone, it is someone, you take your time. You don't have to rush into things. Try not to be drunk because you want to be sober. You want to, get to know the person for the person who for the person it is. And I know it is, the film is called Don John, D-O-N, and then John, J-O, I don't know how to write John in English, J-H-O-N, I think, or J-O-N. It's a movie, just Google it. So this guy has a porn addiction, and then he meets a woman who's much elder to him, but she actually teaches him how to love, because he couldn't get an orgasm. And many men don't get an orgasm because they're emotionally so blocked. Do you know how many clients I had because they couldn't get an orgasm because of the control, the fear of failure, fear of not performing well? That's why you take your time, you get to know the other person, and you only sleep with someone when you're ready, when your heart is open, when your body is open. And women have the same thing about, yes, Don John, DonJohn. Awesome, thank you. Even women have an issue with having an orgasm. They don't even get wet. I mean, so many people in the porn industry and the supermarkets, they're buying that liquid jelly weird chemical thing because they don't produce enough, because I mean, Red Bull is the worst. Drink enough water, make sure your body is alkaline, make sure you're healthy. You have to work on your root chakra, second chakra, the trauma from abuse. You guys, I have, how many years I'm working in Germany, within the family, there's so much incest, so much abuse of hitting children, the way they talk, you know, it's mentally, William, and it's emotionally, exactly. And embracing sexuality is such an important thing. I have in my YouTube channel, I know I'm saying it again, in the healing tools, there's sexual partners release, etheric cords, not cutting, releasing. It's like when you cut a root, it can grow again. So you want to take out the root so it doesn't reconnect. I have done this past 2 years. I love it. Be careful whom you sleep with. You take, exactly, and that's what it is. You really absorb the energy of that person, and you don't want that, right? Especially when you don't know that person. It's not about fear. It's about your self-worth, choosing the person who you really want to be. And also the perfume industry is like, you have your own smell. Like when I was taking the pill for 1 year when I was 18, because I really lost a lot of blood, and then the doctor said, you know what, Agatha, please take the pill, because I was like, I had no iron in my blood. I didn't know about all those things, what I can do now. So then I took the pill, and then I met a guy and I was with him, but then I felt I don't like this pill. I don't want those chemical things in me. I always had that knowing, and I stopped it. And my body changed and cleansed, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on just from that single pill? My body was changing that way. And all of a sudden, I couldn't smell my ex-boyfriend anymore. I couldn't smell him, and I had to leave him. And I was like, oh my God, that is what chemicals in the perfume industry does. You smell someone and you're like, wow, you're so attracted. But if you would remove all those layers, can you still smell that person? Trust your body, trust your nose, trust your senses. Yes, the pill is actually something which I really don't recommend for women. If you did take it, maybe you can, I mean, there's so many ways now of really having sexual intercourse, intimacy without using the pill. By now we have instruments. You know, I feel it's so important. Okay, let me go up. Where are you from? I'm German, half Sri Lankan. I'm born in Germany. I was living in India, Nigeria, Kazakhstan. I was in so many countries. Be careful, yes. Okay, wait, nice earrings, thank you. Yeah, it's about love, emotionally, mentally. Hello, I got love you. Thank you, Juliet. Don John, that's the movie. Yes. Hey, they've been hurting people in the astrosexualist. Sorry. Oh yes, Natalie, thank you. Okay, guys, do you know like the very famous people like Justin Bieber? To be honest, I'm not. Okay, wait. Backstreet Boys. Those are the things I remember. I never had those posters in my home, and I never followed them, and I was never one of those crazy followers, because I always said I'm my own hero, like I'm my own heroine. That sounds cool. I'm my own heroine. I'm like my own drug. Because, you know, some people, when they look at you, look at a picture, and then they masturbate. But when you have like a lot of fans, and that is the reason, like famous people, actor, actresses, singer, artists, you can, when you look at them, they look always very drained because their fans are sucking their life energy. And also I mean, come on, if you're being honest, I'm sure there's so many fans, they masturbate just looking at their posters and saying, oh, I want to be with that person. It's just this, you know, I mean, energy. Everything is possible. But it's about you being honest with yourself, being truthful to yourself, and also being in your own energy and giving the other person space. You are from love, you are light, and you have all the love and the light in the world in you, and you need to learn to connect with Mother Earth and Father Heaven to be your own energizer battery and energizer bunny. Sometimes it's blocking me from attracting a relationship into my life. Don't know what it is. Yes, that is true. Either you're still going through a healing process, or you still need to release ex-partners. In the YouTube channel, I have healing tools. It's about releasing ex-partners' energy. Like in my life, I had a lot of ex-partners, and I always thought it's the great, amazing love, but I had to realize it was always like codependency, because in the end of the day, I was not happy. I was giving myself away to them and doing everything they wanted me to do to be loved by them. And then I realized, oh my gosh, no, this is not what I want. And then I did so much healing on my mom's side, my dad's side. Of course, I had my foster family, so it was even more, but that is amazing because I'm now able to help you guys and guide you. So I went through a lot. I even had abortion, and I was thinking, why did all those things happen? If I could change it, yeah, it would be something I would change, but I don't regret it because that's something I'm like, when people reach out to me, I can really talk about almost everything. So yes, and there's so many different layers, and it's all connected to sexuality. But in the end of the day, are you happy with yourself? Can you pleasure yourself? Can you have an orgasm? If not, look into it. When you have an orgasm, do you do the breathing? Can you feel your whole body? Or is it again twitching? Or can you relax yourself and can you open up? And the person in front of you, can you smell that person? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel it's an eye-to-eye relationship? Yeah, even with your dad or with your mom. Did you see your dad beating up your mom? Did you see your mom abusing your dad? You know, those things are so important. Whatever's connected to relationships, it's such a major thing. But something I really want to tell you, you being a starseed, we are here, we are bringing a different way of relationship to this earth. How does it work? How does it work? You do your work, you do your shadow work, you stay in your own energy, you stay in your own frequency. You give that other person space without having the fear of losing them. You know, sometimes it's like, sometimes you come really close to a person, then it gets really intense. That's what happens with twin flames, but every one of us is a twin flame. We have it all in us. So you become really close, that energy gets really intense, and then it makes boom. But you know, you're not losing that other person, you're just having space to align yourself, to heal, align yourself, and then you can come again, and then you can do a beautiful dance and be together, come together, dance, give space and do your own stuff without having the fear of losing another person, without having the fear of dying, but knowing, well, you know what, I'm so loved, I trust that person, and we don't need to talk every day, but I feel that person in my heart, and we are connected, and we belong together. And I don't need all those sidekicks because I'm so scared of getting hurt. No, I enjoy every time we make love, it's beautiful, but we don't need it maybe every day. But if you want to have it every day, it's nice. But I can also live without. And that's about sexual energy. And then that's what we do. That's the beautiful light, starseed beings, the rainbow dragon children. They're coming to earth through those beautiful relationships. Just imagine what kind of souls we have. And church and cultures, they were all suppressing us because they were suppressing that because that was their way of controlling us. Not anymore. It's over. It's past. It's in your hands. You can choose the child you're going to have. Do your detox. Cleanse yourself. Make sure the baby which comes into your body and the man you meet who has a pure body, that you have a high frequent, high vibrant child who is free and happy. I never have problems attracting a person. I always feel like it's perfect at first, and then see I see parts of them I don't like. They see, yes, if you start seeing parts in them you don't like, that means you have them in you. Like I was dating someone, he had like a lot of fear. And I was like running away from them and thinking, oh my gosh, why do they have so much fear in them? That's like, I'm not a person like that at all. But when I dig deeper over the years doing the healing within my ancestral lineage, I was like, oh my God, there's so much deep hidden fear, which it was so far away that I couldn't feel it, I couldn't grab it. There was so much trauma from my childhood. And then finally when it all came up, because I was ready to release it, I do attract different men in my life. I'm a guy between. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not just talking for women, I'm also talking for men. Why is there pedophilia? I don't understand. I made a video about sexuality. Pedophilia is actually something, okay, children are the most purest, the most pure energy. If someone doesn't have any energy, any pureness in them, and they're really looking for that, and they haven't learned it any other way, a child is the most purest source with a lot of energy. So when you, see my eyes is twitching now, when you attach yourself to a source full of light, you get it. But believe me, you suffer because karma is a bitch. Karma can be good, but karma can be bad. And believe me, they suffer. But it's the only source they know how to generate energy. They need to learn to connect with their heart and earth and heaven energy. You all have your own energy. Okay? Okay. I feel the same, but I dream to have a family. Yes, Angel, but we're going to be much older. We're not going to die with 20 or 30 or 40, which people had in the past, and then they were like, you need to have a family now. You're 16, you should have a boyfriend, and you get married with 22. No. You can have a boyfriend when you're 40. You can have a family when you're 44. Because we're getting so much older. We are like, we rock. So don't get into that fear and trap of time. Everything will happen in divine timing. I don't know if I will ever be able to be with and love with my twin flame. It's, guys, Sven, it's not about twin flame. You want to be with someone, you have a connection with someone who loves you and you love that person. Fuck that stupid twin flame thing. If you have a twin flame, it's not funny at all. But we all have soulmates. We all are, you know, you're supposed to meet the person you meet. And that stupid twin flame hype is, it's like when everyone says in Coca-Cola, oh, Coca-Cola, when you drink Pepsi, you're the dude. It's not like that. You don't say, oh, I'm a twin flame, I'm the dude. No. Be happy when you get real love. Be grateful and appreciate someone when someone loves you pure and gives you space and freedom and you feel the same. That is true love, and that is twin flame. Giving space, giving freedom, because twin flame energy starts within yourself, okay? Not when someone else says, oh, it's your twin flame. You don't want to be with someone because you think it's a twin flame and that person is totally abusive. That doesn't help anyone. Never ever, okay? It comes, don't rush. I think, yeah, true, it comes, and sometimes it's in your face and you don't even know. Do you ever feel energy entering and exciting the mouth? I don't know what it means. And yes, when you kiss someone, you don't want to kiss everyone, because when you breathe, there's a saying, it's like you're breathing the soul in and out, especially when it's like let's say in Sri Lanka, they have this, it's like someone comes and gives you a hug and then they put their head here and then they go, and I hate that because it's like they're sucking my energy and I hate that, and I don't hug them. So through breathing, you can breathe energy in and out. So what I do is when I'm in nature, and I was with people, they had a really weird smell, and when there are entities and pastaways around, you breathe and you smell. It's really rotten for people who can smell that. So then I use my aroma oils, I always have them, and then I go out in nature and I breathe in the fresh air and the light, but I also breathe out the light, okay? It's like I don't breathe in the light and then I breathe out the dark. I only do it if it's like really a lot of darkness, but it transforms and I breathe in light and I breathe in light and breathe out light. So breathing is very important. I'm a twin flame and I'm happy in the good and bad times. That's okay, you know, but it should not be one is better than the other. It's like if some are not twin flames and some are twin flames, it doesn't matter. You have to be happy. I was with an ex who was convinced I was in a soul. Okay, every person you meet is a soulmate, otherwise you wouldn't meet, okay? Because you have a soul contract, there's something to learn. And you resonate, okay? That's why it's a soulmate. Everyone you meet is a soulmate. I don't know why people always say that. So that's good. Antwort at John, happy for you. Okay, all right. Okay, guys, do you have any more questions? I heard that sex mixes karmic and true. Makes me a bit concerned about who. Yes, true. That's why you take your time and you listen to your heart. You will feel in your heart. And if you have a real attraction, then just go for it. Don't be scared, you know. I mean, your soul knows best what to do. That's why you also want to look into it, that someone you meet is also doing energy work. And, you know, it's like being in alignment with you. How to get your purity back? You do your healing. It's not about getting your purity back. I mean, you're always pure. That's something which is so stupid from religion. When a woman has the period, they can't go into the church or temple because they're impure. No, it's not like that, okay? You're always pure. You're always pure. It's just that when you meet someone, you look into the resonance. Like, let's say someone you met was really mean to you and has changing life partners. It's not that bad person. The question is, why are you so scared, or what in you makes you attract that person? So you release that. It's a blessing. You meet that person, so you know what's going on within you. Okay, but then don't do the same mistake. If you do the same mistake, then dig deeper and look, why are you still doing the same thing? I dreamt about me having two beautiful kids. The dream was so real. I am 45 now, and the dream is still so vivid. May I have seen the future. Gabriel, that energy is something you have in your field for sure, but you also need to do the healing, right? You need to look into it. Why are you scared of a family? How did you grow up with having a family? So those things are important. That we going through a healing is a good point. Yes, your insights are awesome thing. You're welcome, Ricky. Okay, Jason, Katharina. All right, guys, it's enough for today. I need to go out, get fresh air, rejuvenate my batteries, or recharge my batteries. And you have a beautiful day. If there's certain questions you have and I should make a video, I gladly do that. But let me know what the topic should be. Okay, guys. Bye.